W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater. Net.
Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KDA-BYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2383 with a release date of Friday, June 30th, 2023 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Ofcom proposes sweeping license changes in the UK. The QSO of a lifetime makes One Ham's Field Day unforgettable. And meet Amateur Radio Newsline's Young Ham of the Year for 2023. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2383 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rabb, WB9VPG.
Our top story takes us to the UK, where Ofcom is proposing a major overhaul of amateur radio licensing and operations. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, brings us those details.
Stating it wants to provide amateurs in the UK with greater access to licenses while delivering greater operating freedom, the communications regulator Ofcom is proposing sweeping changes to its ham radio license framework. None of these changes affects the frequencies or bands amateurs can use, but it does increase the maximum permitted transmitting power for the three classes of license. The proposed maximum allowances are 20 watts for the foundation, 100 watts for intermediate in most bands, and 1,000 watts for full license holders who are operating where ham radio has a primary allocation. Ofcom is also proposing low-power airborne transmission on some bands. Beacons, repeaters, and gateways would no longer require a notice of variation in most cases. The holders of a foundation license will be permitted on the 2.4 gigs and 5 gigs bands. Foundation license holders would also be allowed to build their own equipment. In another change, hams advancing to a higher class of license would be required to surrender their lower level license and call sign, only a single personal license. This requirement would not apply to clubs. This is just a sample of what Ofcom is suggesting. The regulator is seeking feedback and has set a deadline of the 4th of September for comment. For a link to the document, please see the text version of this week's newscast script at arnewsline.org. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
So, you think you had a great field day? Sorry, but no matter how amazing of a time you had, no matter how many QSOs you and your club logged, it can never compare to the experience of one amateur in Alabama who helped organize his club's big weekend. Jim Dameron, N8 TMW, tells us more.
Patrick Nagel, N4GLE, was ready. Field Day weekend couldn't come soon enough for this member of the Muscle Shoals Amateur Radio Club. Patrick has been part of the organizing committee for the club's field day for the past 3 years, and everyone was ready to put the club call sign W4JNV on the air. This year, Rhett Allen Nagel was also ready. In fact, club call sign W4JNV just this field day this year, Rhett Allen was so ready that he was born. With the doctor's help, Rhett's mother, Caitlin Hendricks Nagel, brought him into the world and into Patrick's arms. Patrick told Newsline that he and his wife had hoped for Rhett's birth to take place a few days after Field Day, but the doctor wasn't available on their chosen date of June 26th. So, June 23rd it was going to be. Holding strong at the Field Day site was brand new grandfather Papa Roy Nagel, KI4UX, who kept things running smoothly and stayed in touch with his son. The happy new father may have been away from the club's operating site this year, but he told Newsline he knows he had the best QSO of Field Day weekend. While it may not have been made over the air, he said that all those eyeball QSOs with his new son included plenty of snuggles. This is Jim Dameron, N8 TMW.
Newsline offers the Nagel family all the best. We can't wait to hear that Rhett has received his call sign. So you want to be a part of the World Radio Sport Team Championship, but you didn't qualify and you're not in Italy right now? That's a small point, really, if you want to get in on the action. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, explains.
While amateur radio teams from all over the world compete in the WRTC on July 8th and July 9th, hams from all over the world can now compete right along with the competitors. Organisers have announced the WRTC 2022 Competition Award. Yes, it's still known as WRTC 2022 because of the one-year COVID delay. Hams who have had QSOs with competing stations in the championship can work towards this award by getting on the air during the contest and listening for the action. Organisers recommend that those seeking the award submit their complete logs within 6 hours after the contest ends, which will be at 1800 UTC, Sunday, the 9th of July. The WRTC
You're listening to Cornbread Road, another ham radio podcast from KE9V.
The WRTC 2023 award, offered earlier, challenged radio operators to make contacts with special event stations in 12 regions throughout Italy. There were also special event stations around the world, most of them also ending with the suffix. For more details about the competition award, visit WRTC2022.it and look under the News tab. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
The FCC is getting ready to accept applications for new low-power FM stations. Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, brings us up to date.
As Newsline reported in February, the FCC has made room on the spectrum for the operation of new low-power FM broadcast stations in the U.S. The agency has now announced that a filing window for permit applications will be open between November 1st and November 8th of this year. The Commission will accept proposals for frequencies anywhere in the FM band, from channel 201 to channel 300. The last time the FCC opened a filing window for low-power FM broadcast operation was in 2013. FCC data lists fewer than 2,000 such stations operating in the U.S. since the year 2000, when the FCC created the service for 100-watt stations engaged in non-commercial educational broadcasts. Commercial operations and individuals are ineligible for operation of these stations. When competing applications are filed, an auction may need to occur before the allotments are decided. The FCC will release filing procedures and other relevant details later. Meanwhile, prospective applicants are encouraged to monitor the Audio Division webpage on the agency website. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
Satellite fans, get ready for a big weekend in India devoted to your favorite subject. Registration has opened as we hear from Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
Registration has opened for satellite enthusiasts and other amateurs planning to attend the Oscar convention in West Bengal, India on September 23rd and 24th. The website is also accepting registration for the radio sports portion of the weekend, a CW contest and some fox hunting activity. The weekend theme is simple: get on the air. OSCAR is an acronym that stands for Orbiting Satellite Carrying Amateur Radio. While the full schedule is not yet posted, the organizer, Oscar India, has said the event planners are making special efforts to support and encourage youth to get more involved in amateur radio. Various license exams will be offered at the venue. The program of presenters is expected to showcase the latest technologies and assist attendees in broadening their knowledge of operating techniques, antenna design, digital modes, and signal propagation. There will also be plenty of opportunity to socialize. The Oscar convention is supported by Parks on the Air India and Beaches on the Air India. For details or to submit your registration, visit the website address that appears in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Jim Meechan at L2BHF.
In China, a development team is working hard on the next satellite destined to enter lunar orbit with an amateur radio payload. John Williams, VK4JJW, explains the project.
The creators of the first amateur radio satellite to operate in lunar orbit are in the process of developing a second one with the hope of launching it in 2024 from Wenchang, China. The development team consists of students at the Harbin Institute of Technology in China and ham radio operators from around the world. Known as Lunar Oscar 2, it'll have telemetry, a digipeater with a JT4G uplink and downlink, along with a digital image downlink from an infrared camera. The satellite will also be useful for various amateur radio orbit determination experiments and communications relay research. Harbin Institute students built the first ham radio satellite to operate in lunar orbit in May of 2018. The tiny satellite had a big following among hams around the world who used it to download images of the Earth and the Moon. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the N8NC repeater of the North Coast Amateur Radio Club in Brunswick, Ohio, on Sundays at 8 p.m. during the weekly Information Net. We hope our listeners have been enjoying the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge. We certainly have. In the spirit of fun and perhaps a little bit of literary adventure, we've been inviting listeners to channel their most creative selves and share the joy of ham radio in the form of a haiku. On our website, arnewsline.org, you will find a submission form for sending your most poetic offering. To qualify, you need to follow traditional haiku form. The first line is 5 syllables, the second line is 7 syllables, and the finishing third line has another 5 syllables. We cannot accept any other formats. Our team will pick from the best submissions that follow the 575 syllable rule and represent the love of ham radio. Your prize? For now, bragging rights and a featured spot for your haiku on the Amateur Radio Newsline website. We may have a surprise for you at the end of the year, however, so visit our website at arnewsline.org and take a look at this week's winning ham radio haiku. The U.S. government's long-range surveillance system, which operates on the HF bands, is in line for a major upgrade. Andy Morrison, K9AWM, tells us to get ready.
The United States Navy knows what almost every amateur radio operator knows too, that sometimes the software that enhances your transmissions on HF needs a major upgrade. In this case, it's an $87.5 million upgrade for the Navy, and the work will be done on a long-range surveillance system by Raytheon Technologies Corporation. The system is known as ROTHR, R-O-T-H-R, which is short for Relocatable Over-the-Horizon Radar, and it detects and tracks surface ships and aircraft by using long-range radar in the HF part of the spectrum. The 4-year contract will provide software enhancements, maintenance, installation, removal, integration, and testing, among other things, and will be conducted mainly in Chesapeake, Virginia, and Marlborough, Massachusetts. Unlike hams, the Navy puts the ROTHR systems on the air for an important enforcement mission. The systems have been used to track drug smuggling and are, in fact, considered the government's primary form of surveillance in the war on drugs. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
Congratulations to the National Institute of Amateur Radio, which marked its 40th anniversary with a big celebration in its Hyderabad headquarters. The NIAR is a non-governmental organization that holds training sessions and workshops and advocates for India's radio amateurs. Founded on June 21st, 1983, it is also home to an active club station, VU2NRO, which participates in contests and special events. The NIAR plays a big role in helping individuals and learning institutions in forming their own ham radio clubs throughout India. All the best from us at Newsline for the next 40 years and beyond. In the world of DX, listen for the special call sign IL3P on the air between the 1st of July and the 30th of September throughout the Italian region of Veneto. Be listening especially on the 28th through the 31st as the team activates Palestrina Island, IOTA number EU131, holiday style, and participates in the IOTA contest. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Bo OZ1DJJ is using the call sign OX3LX From Kanak, Maidenhead locator FQ57JL. From Greenland, IOTA number NA018 until the 18th of July. He will be operational on 4 and 6 meters, but he will also be active on the HF bands. He may include a side trip to Herbert Island, IOTA number NA134, or Meteorite Island. See QRZ.com for QSL details and some great pictures. Dave, G4OSY, will be active holiday style as VP9/G4OSY from Hamilton Parish, Bermuda, IOTA number NA005 until the 8th of July. He'll be using sideband most of the time and operating on 40 through 10 meters. You may also hear him on 6 meters, QSL direct to his home call. Several operators in Germany will be using the special call sign DL0SOP for the month of July, marking the 65th edition of the Sea of Peace Award. A small silk pennant is to be given for QSOs with the Baltic neighboring states and regions all month long. Annual stickers are available from hams participating during other years. See QRZ.com for QSL details. And for our final item this week, we're proud to announce the winner of the 2023 Amateur Radio Newsline Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award. Amateur Radio Newsline's Mark Abramovich, NT3V, is chairman of the award program, and he spoke with our latest honoree.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Yes, that is so cool. Thank you so much.
And that was the reaction of Case Van Osprey, W0 Alpha Alpha Echo of Maple Grove, Minnesota, in suburban Minneapolis upon learning he had been selected as the Young Ham of the Year. Case recently turned 19 years old, just making the cutoff for the award. He's the son of Mark and Jean Van Osprey. He's a recent honors graduate of Heritage Christian Academy in Maple Grove and was the valedictorian for his class. Case says when he was 12, during a museum visit, he spotted a fascinating exhibit that sparked his curiosity about amateur radio.
And I saw this cool amateur radio shack there. There was this cool map with all of their markers where they made contacts in Antarctica.
He says that prompted some online research.
Got a book on Amazon, studied and took the 2 licenses, and it was on from there. I got a Baofeng handy talkie. I still have it.
But Case says he wanted to explore more.
A-Jump was my life. I got involved with a few radio clubs, the Minnesota Wireless Association, which is contesting. Contesting is pretty much my main thing that I do at amateur radio, although I branch out and do other things.
Among those other things was getting connected to youth in amateur radio through the Youth on the Air Americas program, where he has taken up leadership roles in training of operators, QSL manager, and sharing his interest in remote operating. Case says he did some online research on remote operating and found a mentor, Ray Higgins, W2RE, who opened a door to a whole new world.
He gives us unlimited access to these highly competitive stations that use flex radios. I was able to do very, very well through that and contesting through DX contesting. He gave us the tools that we branched out from there. I was one of the 5 youth that kind of started the program, and now we have over 80, 100 youth.
Case says he taught himself Morse code through online computer programs, and while he says his ability to copy CW exceeds 35 words per minute, his sending speed is a little slower, and he prefers a key to paddles. Case has picked up several awards for his DX and domestic contests, SSB and CW entries over his short time in ham radio. He's only been licensed for nearly 5 years. His favorite contest, he says, is the North American QSO Party.
It's just 12 hours long, and it's just on Saturday only, and I love that because I can work on homework on Sunday.
Case will begin college in August at Iowa State University.
I'm really excited because they have a great aerospace engineering program 3.5 hours away from me, so not too far away. There are only a few colleges in the country that actually do this particular major.
Congratulations, Case, from all of us at Amateur Radio Newsline. I'm Mark Abramovich, NT3V.
Case will be honored during a presentation ceremony on Saturday, August 19th at the Huntsville Hamfest. Do you have a piece of amateur radio news that you think Newsline would be interested in? We're not talking about advertising your club's upcoming Hamfest or field day participation, but something that is out of the ordinary. If so, send us a brief overview via the contact page at arnewsline.org. If it's newsworthy and we would like to cover it, we'll get back to you for more details. With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, AMSAT News Service, Arunava Day, VU3XRY, ARRL, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, DXWorld.net, FCC 425, DX News, IFL Science, Military and Aerospace Electronics, National Institute of Amateur Radio, Ofcom, Oscar India, QRZ.com, Radio Society of Great Britain, Radio World, ShortwaveRadio.de, Wireless Institute of Australia, Zacks Investment Research, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9VPG in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2023. All rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 9 minutes.
KD8 VUIT, November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa. Can I get a radio check, please?
You sound good, Chris.
Thank you, John. I'll be clear until net time. November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa. Much appreciated.
7-3 till net time.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Hello, hello.
Station calling, go ahead. This is W8EZT.
Yeah, W8EZT, KHMS. Yeah, just seeing how I'm coming through on the 440 side, Frank.
Well, I'm clear into the repeater, and day in advance, happy 4th of July, Steve.
Yeah, same to you. Hope you have a good 4th and all that stuff, and yeah, just happened to see what time it was. I missed the Newsline, but anyhow, yeah, hope you're doing okay, and still thank you for a great field day.
Well, it was a team effort, and I'm proud to be part of the team, so, and we'll have a meeting probably sometime next week on it, but very good, and of course it was great to see you and everybody else out there, so we'll see what happens tonight. I think Chris Palin is running the net, so I'm going to back off here and stand by, and we'll go from there. W8EZT, standing by.
Oh, okay. Hey, real quick question. I missed the meeting on the gal at the Vatican. Was her presentation recorded where I can find it somewhere?
Yes, it was. I'm not sure exactly where. Anthony might have that for you, but I know he did record it. And in fact, one of the CQ magazines you gave me was the issue that had her on the cover.
Oh, okay. Well, very good. Hey, how about that? Okay. Thanks, Frank. See you on the net, KHMS.
W8EZT.
Good evening. CQ calling amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is Chris, and my personal call is November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is a directed net, and you do not have to be a club member to check in. All traffic must pass through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. of this net is to bring together amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and procedures and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01 p.m. Start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs, and names, 5 at a time, confirming the call before moving to the next. Then I'll work through those 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until we run out. If you're a regular participant, I may recognize you by call sign, but this is the first time that I'm running this net, so please be patient with me. Give your call, repeat it phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, I will repeat the announcements and then close the net. We also operate an HF and 6-meter band exploration night, net starting at 9:30 p.m. Directly after this net. The approximate frequencies are posted on our website, w8ppv.net, I think it is. It might be .org, and will be announced on this repeater immediately prior to 9:30. Tonight we'll be on 6 meters at approximately 50 Mark 2705, 0 Mark 270 megahertz, upper sideband, of course. The exact frequency will depend on band activity and QRM. Please join Net Control Station John, WO3X on 6 meters tonight if you have the privileges and the equipment. The following announcements. This coming weekend, July 8th through the 9th, is the IARU HF World Championship, and that's going to be CW and single sideband, starting at 1200 hours Zulu Saturday to 1200 hours Zulu Sunday. Again, that's the IARU HF World Championship. I think it should be a good opportunity to pick up some new DX destinations. Also, CFARC is running a test session Monday, July 10th at 6:30 p.m. That's Monday, July 10th at 6:30 p.m. It's at the Cuyahoga Falls Library, and it's a Laurel exam, so there's no cost to take the exam, but if the FCC finds out you have successfully passed your technician license, then you'll have to pay them $35. So please sign up for that one in advance on our website. Finally, the CFARC business meeting is on Wednesday, July 13th at 7:30 p.m. It'll be live and on Zoom, live at 130 Broad Boulevard, 130 Broad Boulevard. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, now asking for check-ins from club officers or members with announcements or information of general interest for the net. Please call now. Nothing heard there, so if you do have something, just check in and you can give the announcement at that time. Again, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, now asking for 5 check-ins, call sign, name, and location.
Bravo. November 8, November Hotel, Mark and Akron, in and out.
HMS.
W8DIS, Bill and Hudson, in and out.
APU, Larry. I picked up November 8, November Hotel, Mark was in and out. I think the call is Whiskey 8 Golf Mike Fox, and I didn't catch your name. Whiskey 8 Golf Mike Fox or similar. Would you come back? W8GMF or something similar. Would you please come back with your call and your name? There. We also picked up Whiskey 8 Delta India Sierra. That's Bill. He was in and out. And I think it's Kilo 8 Papa Uniform Larry. There was also a double at the very beginning of that, or more, would those stations please return?
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
K88HMS.
Okay, I got Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar. And the other station, the KA8 station, would you come back with your full call and name?
KE8 Hotel, KE8 HJB, Dave in Fairlawn.
I picked up Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Juliet Bravo, Dave in Fairlawn. The KA8 station, please come back.
Yeah, K8HMS, 440 side here, Steve in Peninsula.
Got you in there, Steve. All right, well, that's 5 and a couple more, so let's work who we've got, and then we'll take a pause after that and ask for more check-ins. November 8, November Hotel. Mark, good evening. What traffic do you have for the night?
U8EZT here. I think I heard Mark was in and out.
Frank, that is correct. Okay, how about Kilo Alpha 8 Golf Mike Sierra Steve in Fairlawn? Go ahead.
Oh, did you call K8HMS?
Roger, can you give me your call sign phonetically and then go ahead with your comments?
Yeah, it's Kilo 8 Hotel Mike Sierra, and it's Steve. I'm down here in the valley in Peninsula. Yeah, I didn't catch it right at first there. You said Fairlawn. I thought maybe you had the location messed up, but yeah, just say good evening to everybody. Not much going on. Hope everybody has a great 4th, and thinking of all our military guys. So, and thank you for running the net, and we'll look for John on 6 meters, K8HMS.
Thank you, Steve in Peninsula. Thanks for being patient with me. Kilo 8 Golf Mike Sierra. Bill W8DIS was in and out. So let's go to Larry. Kilo 8 Papa Uniform. Larry, good to hear you.
Good evening, Chris. Everybody on the net. Hey, it's great talking to you out at Field Day, and you're doing a great job on the net, and unlike a lot of us, you've got a terrific radio voice. You could work for WAKR or something. Anyways, Chris, I don't have anything to add to that. Look forward to see you in the meeting and so forth, and I guess our test session, you're up for that. So we'll see you then. But it was great meeting you. So back to you, W8VPV, K8PU.
Thank you, Larry. Yeah, it was outstanding meeting you at Field Day, and nice talking with you. We had a great conversation. And yes, I will look forward to seeing you working with you at the VE session. Again, that's Monday. Monday, July 10th at 6:30 p.m. CFARC is doing a VE test session at the Cuyahoga Falls Public Library. It's a Laurel session. Please sign up in advance on our website, and there's a number of us that will be helping Dr. Grover. Okay, let's see here. Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar. Good evening. Go ahead.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar, Vince, the newsletter editor for CFARC. Anybody has something that last minute needs to get in? Frank, I'm talking to you. You have until Saturday, because the newsletter will go out between Sunday night and Monday morning before the next meeting, which is the business meeting in July. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot. It's been a nice day in Silver Lake. What else can I say? Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar, back to that.
Thank you, Vince. And I just want to say thank you personally for all the work that goes into the newsletter. I do read that on a regular basis, and I'm sure lots of other people do too. Okay, Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Juliet Bravo. I believe I have the call sign right. Dave, go ahead.
This is KE88HJP, Dave in Fairlawn. Thank you very much. I just want to say hi to everybody on the net, and I'll just be standing by.
Dave, thanks for being there. We're at the bottom of the list. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for 5 more check-ins.
Check-in Whiskey 8 Echo Zulu Tango.
Kilo Alpha 8 Bravo Sierra Alpha.
Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray.
Check. 88 VYT Russ Akron.
Was a clean 5. I missed one. I picked up Whiskey 8, oh geez, I've forgotten your call sign. X-Ray, EZT, there we go. K8, KA8 BSA, WO3X, and Russ, KD8 VYT. And who was the one that I missed?
Recheck.
Recheck.
Yeah, Chris, I think you had my call wrong. It's Steve. It's K8HMS. I think you had G in there or something. But anyway, it's Hotel Mike Sierra, Stephen Peninsula.
Thank you very much, Steve. I have that corrected. I do apologize. Kilo 8 Hotel Mike Sierra. Got it. Okay, let's go up and talk to Frank, who we had a lot of fun with at Field Day. Thank you again, Frank, for doing a fine business organizing that. It was a lot of fun. And go ahead.
All right, thanks, Chris. Appreciate you stepping in there and picking up the net tonight. Doing a great job. If anybody took pictures at Field Day and has not sent them to me yet, please. Lots of pictures, so stand by. I've got tomorrow free, so I'll work on it tomorrow, and I should get it to you then. And I have not scheduled the Field Day wrap-up meeting yet with the holidays, and everybody's schedule's upset. And I've got a meeting this Thursday. It will probably be, well, I'm not going to guess. I'll get announcements out to everybody in the next couple of days. It might be this Sunday at 4. But in any case, to everybody that helped in any way out at Field Day, I think we all had a great time. I'm looking at initial scores, and it looks like we did very good this year. So thank you very much. And, of course, we will be talking about it at our business meeting coming up in 2 weeks on Wednesday. With that, we'll hand it back to Net. Good job again, Chris. WADCT here back.
Very good. Thanks, Frank. And, again, fine business on Field Day. Ton of fun. KA8 BSA. Good evening. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone on the net. This is Keith, KBSA, live in Akron. Been doing some of the 13 colonies. Bless you, sir. Just need to get Maryland and French Station on FT8 for FT8 suite. Nothing else going on? Back to you, KBSA.
All right, thank you, Keith. Good seeing you out at Field Day. And yeah, 13 colonies going on right now. I just missed getting the French bonus station, so maybe tonight or tomorrow we'll see what happens. Let's go next to our net control station for the 6-meter net tonight. WO3X, John. Good evening.
Good evening, Chris, and all on the net. This is WO3X. Yeah, doing pretty good here. I wasn't able to start with the 13 colonies special event until today because we were out of town visiting our son who traveled to his vacation house there in Oak Hill, West Virginia. And so that took up Saturday and Sunday. So I started on it this morning, on and off, and I got half of them. Great Britain was on. I don't know if they're still on, but they were going by number, and it was going to be a while till they got to number 3. So I probably won't get them this evening. And so, yeah, I'll be, as you mentioned, net control for the net on 50.270 megahertz. So with that, back to the net. W8VPV, this is WO3X.
Thank you, John, and thanks for running the 6-meter net tonight, as you usually do, and we'll see you next at the CFARC test session. Again, that's Monday, July 10th. If you're looking to get your ticket or upgrade, Monday, July 10th, 6:30 p.m., Cuyahoga Falls Public Library. It is a Laurel exam, so there's no fee for it, but we do ask that you please sign up in advance. And I have been on both sides now of the testing table. I took my extra class test with CFARC, and I helped out with the last test session. I can tell you Dr. Grover and the teams do a great job. So, okay, let's go to Russ. Russ, thanks for running Amateur Radio Newsline, KD8VYT from W8VPV.
Good evening.
Russ, most of your transmission was all noise, just all noise. Maybe if you can use a different radio or move to a different location. You usually have a really good signal into this machine. So just recheck and we'll get you back in. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for 5 more check-ins. Call sign, name, and location, please.
Alpha Kilo 8, Bravo Kilo, Brian and Tom.
KE8YIR, Mark and Hudson, in and out.
Kilo Alpha 8, Whiskey Tango Kilo, Phil and Talmadge.
We picked up Alpha Kilo 8 Bravo Kilo. KE8YIR was in and out. Thanks for the check-in. And Kilo Alpha 8 Whiskey Tango Kilo. Phil. Anybody else?
November 8, Yankee Romeo X-ray. Fucking green. In out tonight.
Did get N8YRX Buck in green in and out. And there was someone doubling with him. Who was that? Somebody try and make it in, but they're not making the machine. So we'll go back up here to the top of the new list and pick up, I think it's Alpha Kilo 8 Bravo Kilo. Do I have your call sign correct? Good evening. Over. Okay, Brian, that was real noisy into the machine, but I've got you on the list here, and if you can either move to a different location or increase the power and try it again, just do a recheck with me and I'll get you back in. Alpha Kilo 8 Bravo Kilo, Brian, I think was the name. Thanks for checking in. K8YIR was in and out, and that brings us to Phil. Kilo Alpha 8 Whiskey Tango Kilo. Go ahead.
Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, KA8, WTK, Bill in Talmadge, Bravo India Lima Lima. Yeah, not much going on around here. Been kind of a quiet weekend. Went to a birthday party and a few things like that. Not much in the radio way, except we've got parts in now for our old TS 930, and it's becoming a a modern rig slowly but surely. It's going to have a switching power supply built in and an LD MOS final amplifier board. So that'll get it back on the air. Unfortunately, these transistors that belong in the normal amplifier board are unobtainium. So there are other modifications, but this looked like the cleanest way to do it. A brand new LD MOS board. I'll let you know how it works out on one of the nets. Back to net control, W8VPV, KA8WTK.
Thank you very much for checking in, Bill, and that sounds like a very interesting project. That might make a nice newsletter article. Maybe get with Vince on that. I've got two Kenwood hybrids sitting on my radio desk right here, and I love them, so very nice. N8YRX was in and out, so that brings us to the bottom of the list. This is the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
Kilo Echo 8 Tango Lima Golf. Is Jim up Broadview Heights in and out tonight?
YRX was not in and out.
Picked up Kilo Echo 8 Tango Lima Golf. He was in and out, and I do apologize. Buck, N8YRX, go ahead.
No problem. I think you caught the tail end of another station there that kind of sounded like that, but it wasn't me. Okay, well anyway, haven't been on the net for a while because of my ball playing schedule, so had the chance to jump in tonight, and wanted to say hello to everybody, and wanted to say hello to you, Chris. Used to check in with you on another net a while back, and it's good to hear you doing net control again. And John, WO3X mentioned participating in the 13 Colonies special event, and I just got a clean sweep on that today, including one of the bonus stations as well. And it's going on till the 7th, so I'll listen for the European stations as well, see if I can pick them up too. But anyway, got the clean sweep, so that's all I got. Back to you, Chris. N8YRX.
Very good, Buck. Hey, thanks for checking in. It's good to hear your voice as well. And congratulations on the 13 Colonies sweep. Let's see, where did I hear the French station? It was Tango Mike 13 Charlie Oscar Lima, if I'm not mistaken. He was on 17 meters, coming in pretty good. He was working by the numbers. I think they're all working by the numbers, but anyways, didn't manage to get him, but he was coming in nice and clear, so maybe check 17 for him. Thanks very much. N8YRX, W8VPV. K8TLG, I think up from Parma, he's in and out, so that brings us again to the bottom of the list. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
KE8 KVI, Ron in Akron, in and out.
You, Ron? KE8 KVI, Ron in Akron, in and out. Thanks for checking in. Anybody else?
Check Chris, W8EZT.
Thanks, Frank. Go ahead with your recheck.
I talked with Russ earlier, KD8 something VT, KBT. I can't remember it now. I'm brain dead. I'm sorry. Over at a friend's house celebrating their New Year's. Anyway, he had a rigged up radio on his front porch and a temporary antenna. That's probably why he couldn't get in. So I'd say log him in, check him in as in and out station. Good job. Great job on the net, as a matter of fact, Chris. Appreciate it. And for John, I may not be home in time to get on the 6-meter net, so check me in if you would. W8EZT, back to net.
Very good. Thanks for the... And I do have Russ logged in because I did hear him, KD8VYT. And Russ, if you get in a better spot or something, give us a shot back. Okay, we're going to bottom of the list here. Getting close. I'll make a couple more calls for check-ins. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. Please call now.
VYT, recheck.
Hey, we got you now, loud and clear, Russ. Go ahead.
V. Repeater.
Well, what I want to let you know is I've got an HF rig out here on my front porch with a portable antenna in the front yard, and I'm hoping to check into the 6-meter net. This is an antenna that I want to take to Hilton Head this fall, so I'm still working on it. So I'll try to hear you on 6 meters. KD8 VYT, thanks.
No problem, Russ. I got every bit of that transmission, so whatever you did, fixed it. KD8 VYT, thanks for checking in with us, and I'd say that's working a lot better now. Let's go out to Monroe Falls now. Nice to hear you. WB8CXO from W8VBB. Thank you, Mike. Good to hear you again, and nice to talk with you, even if just a little bit briefly. And I should say that I should say thanks to Russ, KD8VYT, because he actually gave me the antenna that I'm transmitting on right now. Very nice copper J-pole. I need to measure it because people are asking what it is. It works really well. So thanks again, Russ, and thank you, Mike, for checking in. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list again. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, looking for more check-ins. Nothing heard there. Do we have any rechecks? Nothing heard there either. I'll check one more time for any further check-ins or rechecks after I recap our announcements. Again, July 8th through the 9th, 1200 Zulu, Saturday to 1200 Zulu on Sunday is the IARU HF World Championships. That's CW and phone modes, and it should be a great time to pick up some new DX. We have a CFARC test session coming up if you're looking to get your license or upgrade it on Monday, July 10th at 6:30 p.m. at the Cuyahoga Falls Public Library. This is a Laurel exam, but we do ask that you sign up on our website in advance. And finally, the CFARC business meeting is Wednesday, July 13th at 7:30 p.m. That'll be both live at 130 Broad Boulevard, that's 130 Broad Boulevard, and also on Zoom. And all of the information is on the CFARC website. Do we have any further check-ins at this time? This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Please call now.
This is W8ZP, excuse me, this is N8PZL.
We picked up November 8 Papa Zulu Lima, Dr. Grover, of course. Do we have anybody else?
Please copy Kilo Charlie 8 Echo Echo Yankee, Dave from East Sparta.
We have you, Dave, from East Sparta. Nice trip you're making. Kilo Charlie 8 Echo Echo Yankee. Anybody else?
This is KE8 TJX.
I think I heard Kilo Echo 8 Papa Juliet Sierra. Did I get your call correct? And what is your name?
Oh, this is Bob. I am Kilo Echo 8 Tango Juliet X-Ray.
That's why they call me the call sign Wrangler and Mangler. I got that all wrong. Kilo Echo 8 Tango Juliet X-Ray. Is that correct?
It's Kilo.
Kilo Echo 8 Tango Juliet X-Ray. Is that correct? I think I've got that correct. So we'll go back up to the top of the list here and talk to Dr. Grover. Good to hear you. N8 Papa Zulu Lima from Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Yes, we have more than enough DEs for the session that's coming up. We only have, currently we have 2 candidates, but hopefully we'll get a few more. One of the problems is that the person that lists DE sessions at the ARRL is on vacation this week. So they're probably not going to list it until next week when we have the test.
Roger that. Yeah, and that's, I think that's, is it Maria that does that? I can't remember who does that at the ARRL, but anyways, and there's actually, you might be getting another sign up because I just talked to somebody tonight that said they're thinking of signing up, so we'll see what we can do to get the word out. Again, that test session is Monday, July 10th at 6:30 p.m. at the Cuyahoga Falls Public Library. It's a Laurel session, and Dr. Jim and the rest of the teams do a great job, and we ask that you do please sign up in advance. Anything else, Dr. Grover?
I don't think so. So this is N8PZL clear.
Thanks for all you do, and he runs a fine test, I can tell you that. Kilo Charlie 8 Echo Echo Yankee. Dave, go ahead.
Good evening to the net. Just heard you guys in there. Wanted to add my call to your list. I don't know how well I'm hitting the repeater right now, but I got my beam turned up that direction. If you give me a signal report after I'm done talking, it'll be fine. Been playing around with the SDR dongle for radio software controlled radio, and using the waterfall off that. We're down in the HF range. It's much better than my Yaesu 99-1A waterfall, and it's quite fun marrying the two. Okay, that's all I got to say. Turn it back to the net. This is KC8EEY. Why? Because we want to.
Very good there, Dave. You're giving us a really good signal from East Sparta. That's quite a ways. And almost full quiet. There's a bit of hash in your background, but you're way up above it. Excellent audio. And I flipped over to the input, and I can hear you direct. So no bars direct, but fine business. Okay, let's go to Kilo Echo 8 Tango Juliet X-Ray. Let me know if I have the call correct and your name again. And go ahead with any transmission for the net.
Back to net.
All we heard was back to net, so maybe key down and hold it for a couple seconds and go ahead with your transmission.
This is N8PZL. Bob has nothing to say, so she's just saying go back. She's returning control back to net.
Thanks, Jim. We got her in the log here, so. All right, that's the bottom of the list. This is, I'll make one more call. This will be final call for the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for any further check-ins.
K8BK, Alpha Kilo 8 Bravo Kilo, coming back around.
We got you loud and clear now. Alpha Kilo 8 Bravo Kilo, go ahead.
Good evening, folks. Just checking back in to make sure I had a better signal, but I want to wish you all a happy and safe July 4th again. Thank you, Net, a.k.a. BK.
Thank you, and that was much better. We could make out everything you're saying. Happy 4th of July to you as well. Any further check-ins? This is the final call for check-ins to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Any last call check-ins? No further check-ins or rechecks. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. I appreciate your patience with me doing this net for the first time, and I thank the club for the opportunity. This has been Chris. My personal call sign is November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. I forgot to mention, I better mention this for John. Please check in on the 6-meter band exploration net tonight, and that is going to be on the frequency on or about 50 Mark 270. 50 Mark 270 megahertz upper sideband, of course. Yeah, exact frequency might depend on band activity and QRM. And please join the NCS John WO3X on 6 meters tonight at 9:30 if you have the privileges and equipment. Okay, I will now close the net with 21 check-ins, including myself, and return the repeaters to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:06 p.m. local time, 7-3.
Excellent job, Chris. Really appreciate you standing in there. W8EZT, I'll be clear.
Frank, thanks for the opportunity to do it, and I'm glad I could help out. And yeah, 7-3, November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa, clear.
Port. Link off. W8VPV. Repeater.
net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep us updated about club happenings. This Band Explorer net meets every Monday at 9:30 p.m. local time, preceded by the VHF-UHF net at 8:30 and Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. Check for the frequency of this Band Explorer net on the calendar at www.cfarc.org. When checking in, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. Also, let me know if you have any comments or traffic for the net, or if you're checking in and out. I will start with announcements and then call for officers or members who have further items. When all have checked in, I will repeat the announcement. After that, I will give one last call for check-ins and then close the net. Here are the announcements. The next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, let me get my calendar out here, will be July 12th, Wednesday, July 12th. And it will be both in person at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, 130 Broad Boulevard, and on Zoom. So please plan to attend. And let's see, on July 26th will be our activity meeting, and that will be a discussion about the ARRL IARU HF Championship. And let's see, that will, that may be, actually that may be coming up soon here, before the next meeting. Yeah, that's right. That's one of the announcements. It's on July 8th and 9th. So check into that. Go to the ARRL webpage and look for that. It's the IARU HF Championship. Okay, that's Saturday and Sunday. So then on Monday is a volunteer exam session at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. That's July 10th, Monday, July 10th. It's in the evening. And so the test starts at around 6:30, so plan to arrive there before that. And if you have any friends that may have been planning to upgrade, let them know. And you have to pre-register for this. Now, it is a Laurel session, so there's no fees at the test. If you pass the test, then you pay the fee with the FCC. If it's, let's see, certain, I think if it's your first license, there is no fee. So that's Monday, July 10th, 6:30 in the evening at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. That's all that I have in the way of announcements. I have one early check-in. That's Frank W8EZT checked in early. And so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Are there any members or people who have special announcements? Okay, nothing heard. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. I'll just be taking you one at a time on this net here, not 5 at a time like on the 2-meter net. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor calling for check-in.
KPU.
Okay, I've got KD8VYT and Russ, and I got Larry, K8PU. Okay, okay, Russ, go ahead with your comments. Well, I'm picking you up with an S4, a solid S4, way above the noise. So I'm picking you up good over here. Maybe when we talk with Larry, I'll ask him how he's hearing you. So back to you, Russ. Go ahead. Okay, Russ, very good. Well, it's working fine so far, so good luck with that. Okay, let's go to Larry, K8PU. Go ahead, Larry, and let me know how you heard Russ, KD8BYT. Go ahead, Larry.
Evening, John, everybody on the net. Well, I've got a situation here, the last couple of 6-meter nets, right at this frequency, up and down a few hertz either side of it. I have a squeal and I have to squawk pretty big. I hear you real good. In the past I did hear Russ, I know that, but if I turn it up, the squeal gets too bad. I'm going to have to try to figure out what that is. Dead on. So I couldn't hear Russ, but probably won't be able to hear much of anybody else either. So anyways, get to everybody next week and at the meeting, of course. So back to you, John. W8BPV, APU.
Okay, Larry, very good. Maybe it has something to do with that tire place that's open down the street, or who knows what it is. It's maybe some kind of equipment nearby. Okay, so good luck trying to figure that out, Larry. So 73, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. Well, it's a holiday week here, so maybe it's going to be a short net. Okay, so far we have 3 check-ins, W8EZT, KD8BYT, and Larry, K8PU. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. Okay, I'll repeat the announcement. Okay, this Saturday and Sunday, I forgot to mention there's a ham fest. It's a trunk fest down in Mansfield there. It's near. It's on the grounds where the big amphitheater used to be, but it's free admission and it's outdoors. Like I said, it's a trunk fest, tailgate fest. Okay, and then also on the 7th, but also on the 9th, also on the 8th and the 9th is the ARRL IARU HF Championship. So take a look on the ARRL site to look for that. And let's see, then on Monday, July 10th, is a volunteer exam session at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. So if you have any friends that are thinking of upgrading or getting a license, have them pre-register. Make sure you have your FRN. Anybody that's going to take the test needs an FRN. Then this coming Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but Wednesday of next week is our business meeting. It will be both on Zoom and in person. In person is at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, 130 Broad Boulevard, but the parking lot is on 2nd Street, south of Broad Boulevard. So the meeting, like I said, will be both in person and on Zoom. Go to www.cfarc.org and go to the calendar and get the link for the Zoom meeting. Okay, then on July 26th is our activity meeting. I'm not sure what the activity is for that meeting, so stay tuned. Watch on the calendar for that. Let's see. So that's all that I have in the way of announcements. Although get your articles into the newsletter editor at cfarc.org to get them in the newsletter. You have a few more days to get things in that. So with that, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Last call for check-in. K8 HMS. Good evening, Steve. What's going on over there?
Yeah, hey, John. Yeah, I guess I got in here kind of late. I was kind of lost track of time. Yeah, not much. Well, like you, I think I heard you say about working the 13 colonies. Yeah, I've been doing that, and got everything except the one in England, the GB13 COL, and I was take the Zoom tonight. I can't believe I didn't get in. He was running by the numbers, and when he got to the 8, he wouldn't take too many, and I was right there, so anyway, I'll just keep trying, but yeah, it seems K2I and the GB13 are the pretty hard ones to get. Anyhow, I guess that's about it. Thanks for running the net, and good luck with the colonies. WATTV, KHMS.
Yeah, very good, Steve. Yeah, I just started this morning, and so I need Connecticut, New Jersey, North Carolina, New Hampshire, and I need GB 13 COL and TM 13 COL. I heard GB 13 COL before the 2-meter net there, but he got to the 9s, and then I shut it off because he wasn't going to get to the 3s. Yeah, I did hear him doing the 8s there. He went for quite a while. I didn't hear you in the pile-up there, but I mean, it was a massive pile-up. So, when he was doing the 8, it was a massive pile-up on all of them, except the 7. They were really weak out this way, so I don't know how he heard any of them unless maybe going over the pole or something, So, okay, very good, Steve. With that, I'll say 73 to you, Steve, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-in. N8 ACP, I hear you. You're pretty weak over here, Chris, but I hear you. Go ahead. Okay, thanks. Thanks for the number there, Chris. So, 73 and have a good evening. Okay, very good. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-in.
Yeah, recheck.
Go ahead, recheck.
Yeah, KHMS, John. Just real quick, John. Glad to hear you say there was a pileup with the 8 because I really didn't hear hardly anybody in there when the 8 came up. So, I was hoping I should have grabbed him, but, yeah, he was back on there again now, too, just a little bit ago when I got the number at 14288, so, but anyway, yeah, well, good luck, and like I say, take your wife in the New Jersey station, been kind of a tough one, so, back for you, and have a good 4th of July, KHMS.
Okay, you too, Steve. Yeah, he was on 20 meters. That's when I heard him. And it's starting to fade now. I'm surprised that we can hear him this late in the day because it's what time is it over there? It's like almost 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm surprised that 20 meters would still be working.
Yeah, he was pretty weak the whole time for me down here, but I did have a copy on him, but I was surprised he was working this late.
Yeah. I'm not sure what all numbers he'd be getting now. So, I had this DXSummit.5 running, and so I look over and see. So, we'll see if I can hear him. So, thanks for checking in, 73. Have a good evening. And so, this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-in.
K2I 7.2395.
7.2395.
Yeah, I just got it here on the Summit, 7.239. And it looks like they're also on 703 for ECW.
Yeah, I'm not set up for doing CW. Okay, now 40 meters might be okay. So thanks for that information, Steve. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-in. Okay, none heard. So in preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. As mentioned earlier, this Band Explorer net meets every Monday at 9:30 p.m. Next week, the frequency will be on 10 meters, 28.360 megahertz, plus or minus QRM. Please feel free to check in regularly, even if only for a moment. All comments are welcomed and valuable to us. This has been John, and my call is WO3X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net and return the frequency to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:50 p.m. local time with 6 check-ins, counting myself. 73.
you.